Welcome back to No Agendas. You people know what time it is. We've got Johnny back with us, the king of agendas. Agendas with no substance, just pure agendas from Johnny.
King of agendas.
Uncle Jimmy there as well. We should have Elzo, Brian joining us at some point, and Neji as well, hopefully at some point. There's a lot to unpack, some breaking news. Ten Hag's talent ID is in question again. It's in question again. Yeah, Ryan Bertrand a week ago. Thank God that's
He's on thin ice, man. He's on thin ice.
This guy, man.
Thank
This
God
guy
that
is all
story
over the
died.
place, man. Fuck
1 second, let me put my volume up because I can't really hear Johnny. But yeah, so let's get into it, innit? I've got the story here from the Telegraph. I want to read it, innit? Because I'll be honest with you. There's information in the story when you actually read the article that I think says a lot in it. Yeah. So you see the headline. Let me zoom in. Let me not zoom in too much though. Can you guys see that? Okay. Man United.
Yeah, it's showing. Yeah, it's coming up.
Keywords. See me, yeah, I'm such a nerd. When I read articles, I look at the keywords. Man United consider a surprise move for Hoiberg. And then even in the byline, if you don't know, that's what you call a byline. I know people don't read newspapers no more, so they're probably not familiar with that term in 2023. The byline says a lot. Man United have been offered the chance to talk to the Denmark midfielder, with Erik ten Hag keen to strengthen his engine room. The byline's important because that's not Man United going to Tottenham. That's Tottenham coming to us. And we're going to unpack why do you think Tottenham are coming to us? We obviously want a midfielder, but there's another reason we'll get to. Same thing, Man United are considering. Man United have been offered the chance to open talks for Hoiberg, who Tottenham are willing to sell before the deadline. Atletico Madrid had a £30 million bid accepted earlier this summer for 28-year-old, but the move collapsed after failure to agree personal terms. So you look at the price point, Tottenham have been very clever here. Amrabat has been rumoured to be a similar price. I've always seen 30, 35 million, 25 million euros in it. So Tottenham have been smart. This is a player we wanted to sell for 30. The deal collapsed. Man United are in for a midfielder around this price. I've seen Gravenberch quoted at a similar price, although I think it's cap. I think Gravenberch would cost a lot more. They'll be taking a loss on him. So you saw the Danish international recently also turn on a chance to join the Saudi Pro League, despite being offered a highly lucrative salary package of 45 million net over net of tax over the term of his contract. So I misinterpreted that the first time. So he wants to play ball in it. That's good though. So if he were to come to Man United, he's not coming for the check. He can go get a check right now. I think he's 28 years old, it says here. So they can go and get a check. He can go get a check. 28 years old, last contract. If he was concerned with money and just making money, then he'd go to the Saudi League if that part is true. He joined for 15 million. The rest of it is mainly fluff. Talk about raising sales. We'll get into the two called Tottenham. We'll get into that afterwards as well. Then, yeah, the rest of it is fluff like they normally do with this stuff. But of course, Cucurella, Marcus Alonso, regular mentioned in this. The Gravenberch potential swap for McTominay, which we'll get to, mentioned in this. So it unpacks sort of the context for the next, 3 days. Transfer window ends on the 1st of September. Was it the 30th of August, the 31st? Either way, we've only got a few days for this situation to conclude. So, yeah, Ten Hag's got some big decisions. Johnny, you see the headline, Hoiberg. Now, let's see his picture. You see him there. In fact, we're going to go straight to the tier list because I've got a tier list set up as well. So we'll start with Hoiberg. You buying or selling? What are we saying here?
I'm not buying.
Taking Man United?
I'm not buying, period. No, I'm not buying that. I ain't buying that. To me, it's just, you're asking me, do I buy Vauxhall Astra? Nah, man, I'm good.
Is that it? What is that it? So you got no more to add?
No, but like
brutal, man. That's brutal, bro. That's brutal.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Like, it doesn't move me at all. I'd rather keep McTominay. Like, I just don't think I'd just rather give McTominay a job to do here in there. Like, listen, I want players coming to this club that are going to elevate the fucking team. He don't elevate my
United. The thing though, like, don't get me wrong. I'm selling this as well. I actually think Hoiberg's a good player and a bit disrespected.
No, yeah,
I think we can do better, but he's better than Scott McTominay.
Like I know, but like
He's better than Scott McTominay. A
I was
lot
exactly
better.
to make a point, but I'd like.
I think he's
He's
much
not
better than Scott
He's
McTominay.
not a bad player, but I don't want him, man. Like, why? Like, it's clear that he's not in the manager's plans. That new attacking manager that they've got, it's not in his plans. So, no, man. What
All right, Johnny. So I put it to you like this, yeah. Let's keep it real. Most of the fan base don't watch Fiorentina. I don't care what no one tells me. I don't believe you guys watch Fiorentina. Yeah? I don't believe any of you.
Not
So-
game in, game out. Nah, definitely.
They don't.
So why is everybody clamoring for Amrabat? He's a similar
that's a good
price
question.
point, and he's probably a similar caliber of football player, but everyone's excited for him based off the World Cup and comps. If Hoiberg was playing in Italy, had a decent World Cup, and you watched his comps, you'd probably be clamoring from him. You'll clamor for him as well. Just what I'm saying to you. So I'll move on to Amrabat now. Do you actually want Amrabat, and why do you actually want him? If you do, or don't you?
Again, I've only seen him at World Cup, Daniel. I've literally seen him again. Was it against fucking France? I want to say in the World Cup for Morocco. He's Moroccan in Morocco. I only saw him in that game. Like I'm not gonna sit here and chat shit and say I followed Morocco's fucking journey in the World Cup because I didn't watch every game. I didn't. I saw him in one game, and even then, I didn't realize I was watching. Like the only reason the only reason I even know about him is because of Shubs. I'll be dead honest.
Sorry, Johnny. I cut out.
Can you hear what I'm saying? Where's Daniel?
No, Danny's cutting out. Danny's cutting out.
Yeah, it's cutting out again. I don't know what's happening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me check. Yeah, no, my Wi-Fi is good. Let me know in the comments if you're having any issues with the stream. Yeah, carry on, Johnny. Like
as I was saying, the only reason I know of Amrabat is, I'll be honest, it's because of Shubs. Because I watched. Listen,
see, Johnny, this is why I respect you sometimes, because you know you can tell the truth. You can tell it like it is. I
don't watch Fiorentina. I don't watch Moroccan international team. I didn't follow the journey. I was surprised they got as far as they did. So when they got that far, guess what? I tuned into that particular game. I know Amrabat could have been goalkeeper for all I fucking know. I don't know about Morocco. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and just chat nonsense and say, "Oh yeah, I want this player." But what's that based on?
Johnny, I love it.
I only know about Amrabat, dead serious, because Shubs has been fucking given so much prop, and he's obviously been in the media. Other than that, I don't. And
Is Shubs his second cousin? Shout out Shubs, innit? Tell your cousin to get his move on, man.
So look, so do you want? So buy or sell? Do you want him? Do you want Amrabat, Johnny? Do you actually want him?
I'll take him or leave him. I don't really have an opinion on it, if I'm honest. I
don't. So
you
don't want Hoiberg. You don't want Hoiberg, who you know is a good player. Who you know is better than McTominay, but you're not sure on Amrabat, who you haven't watched.
Yeah, that kind of don't make sense, does it? It don't make sense. I'll just say no to both players, I guess.
Do you agree or disagree with that, Jimmy?
You know I disagree with that. But you know what though? For me, I always say this. Is sometimes you have to think about what's possible, what's doable, what's not, right? Because we have to get realistic sometimes. We are very, very light in the midfield area, especially players that have the capacity to be defensive midfield players who can also play with the ball. Now, we're looking at the time frame that we've got between now and the close of the window. What's possible? We're not going to go for the guys that are consistently 8s, 9s, and 10s in every match they play. What we're going to get is these guys that are consistently 6s and 7s in every match they play. So that's why we're getting linked with the Hoibergs and the Amrabat. So I'm a realist. I know we need to get our numbers in midfield right. It's not looking great at the moment. And for me, he's got Premier League experience. This is a very important factor as well. That plays a big part.
You're talking about Hoiberg.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about Hoiberg.
Oh, so what? You're buying Hoiberg?
No, Danny, looking at the time frame, we haven't got many options, Danny. Why are people refusing to accept it?
Jimmy, that's
Johnny, listen. In the Premier League, you can be light in other areas and still do okay in the Premier League. When you're light in midfield, it's a very dangerous position to be in the Premier League. So I'm saying you would rather get something than get nothing at all, because at the moment, Johnny.
I'm agreeing with you.
All right, okay, you're agreeing with me. That's good. That's good because because if you're talking about wingers and strikers, you could tinker that. You could find ways to be productive without having the best profile of players in those positions. In midfield, you cannot afford to be all the way light in midfield. So when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking this is not a bad link because we need players in that position. Unfortunately, guys, what's possible at the moment, looking at the time frame we've got 4 days before the end of the window. What's possible? This is possible. Amrabat's possible. And if you look outside of those two players, or maybe you could put Onana in, or maybe you could maybe you could put Onana in there. But if you look outside of those 3 or 4 players, there's not many options out there. So be realistic, and we need to get players in that position.
Let's ask you a question. The first point that you mentioned about the time that we've got 4 days left. So on that premise, I agree with you. Like getting somebody in is better than getting nobody. So I do agree with that point, right?
No, but somebody who can do the job, not just somebody for the sake of it.
But will he not get like the same sort of stick, get battered with the same stick as Mason Mount? Because like people didn't want Mason Mount. So even if he comes in, he's not going to get battered with the same stick. Because I guarantee most of the fan base will not want Hoiberg.
No, they might not want him, but I'm saying you need to get numbers in that, because at the moment, if you look at our midfield, how many midfielders have we got? Central midfielders.
Not many.
How many?
2.
But central midfielders.
If we're talking minus Kobe, who's obviously just youth playing, he's injured right now anyway. We've got 2.
Christian Eriksen, that's it.
No, he's not a central midfielder.
No, we've got 2 central midfielders.
Casemiro, McTominay, that's it.
That's it. That's all we've got. We know that McTominay.
I won't call McTominay a central midfielder.
No, he is. Of course, that's his profile. That's his position, Johnny. That's his profile. I'm saying when you look at the midfielders we've got, unfortunately, there needs to be an enhancement in that position. And whether people like it or not, we're going to have to look at attainable options. Stop talking about options that we know for a fact we can't get. Manchester United fans, accept attainable for now, because we know that there'll be lessons learned in this window. And who knows what the ownership's going to look like in the next window.
I love how Verratti's got that Saudi offer, which he's probably going to take, yeah. And I get it. Very, very attractive football player. But the way we've been getting killed on transition, and you want to get Verratti, you man just want to play FIFA. You man ain't actually trying to. You man are not serious.
Exactly, Danny. I don't look at this
I
like
rate
FIFA.
Verratti. I rate him.
FIFA.
But
FIFA.
look, let me just say this on Højlund, yeah. Let me just say this on Højlund.
On Hoiberg. You mean Hoiberg?
So yeah, let me say this on Højberg, yeah. Tottenham are being very, very clever by offering. This ain't a player we've identified. He's been offered to us, right?
Yeah.
And it's very, very clever. What they're doing, they're enticing Ten Hag. They're looking at Erik Ten Hag and they're saying, oh, you like players that you've played with before,
yes,
or have some type of link to or seen, or they played in the same league that you've operated in. How about some Højberg? That's what they're basically saying to Erik Ten Hag, in it. And I don't know, man. I like Area just coming in, dropping his thing on the table, saying, "Look, Hoiberg is fine. To be fair, I prefer him than Gravenberch." And look, I can't disagree with that too much. Nah, it's like, when you've been a player, right? You've been a player, yeah. You're trying to be faithful, and then you get tempted, right? But you're trying to change your ways. This is where Erik Ten Hag needs to change his ways and say, "It's a good temptation. Hoiberg, I know him, blah, blah, blah. But on this occasion, no, thank you. No, thank you." I'm not going to. I tell you why. Because if you look at it, right, we've got Amrabat here. Right, I'll put Amrabat in the buy for now. Then you've also got Gravenberch. Right? So if he knows all 3 of these players, in fact, if you're only going for like one, you get the one with the best quality, the most upside, the most talent.
How attainable is he?
You look at what we need. It just takes Bayern to accept the fact. If at the end of the day, he's made it clear to Bayern, don't finesse me again. Are you actually going to give me game time? And if you're not, you've had me here for a year. Stop wasting my time. Yeah, Tuchel, you like me, but are you actually going to play me? So you don't know.
But how attainable is he, Danny? That's the problem, isn't it? This is what
I'm saying. I don't know how, but I know he wants to leave. Bayern are actually looking at a central midfielder, that much we do know. I'm just saying, if Ten Hag had the choice between the 3, at least go with the player that's most talented. That's what we need in it when it comes to Gravenberch. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, we actually need a profile like his, a technical midfielder. Gravenberch, by the way, can do half of what Mount does between the lines, and he's way more talented than him. And in the first phase of play, Gravenberch he's a pretty effective player as well. So yeah, between these three midfielders is Gravenberch every single time. Hoiberg's a good player, but we can do so much better. Amrabat, I've never seen him play. Like you said, it's just because of Shubs and the timeline. I've never seen him play. I've never watched him. And the World Cup, I erase the World Cups. Even from players that I know, I erase the World Cups from my memory, I'll be honest with you. I don't take him in like that. Pause. So, yeah, it's Gravenberch for me. It's set on the other two. Let's move to the left-back position. Because you can see, I haven't included Ryan Bertrand, but the way the fan base were reacting to the Ryan Bertrand thing, I was just like, you guys will react. When Man United fans are in the mud, the media can just throw the most ridiculous thing out there, and Man United fans will bite straight away. I saw for 2 days on my timeline, I'm like, it's the Daily Express and Stretty News pumping this. And then the Manchester Evening News picked it up, and you guys think this is credible. Anyway, the choices are, let's start with Marcos Alonso. This shouldn't take too long.
Come on, man. Marcos Alonso, being serious.
Not for me, man. I can't lie, not for me at all. Straight off, I'll tell you, Sel. Straight off.
There's a reason that we don't need him outside of football. And
Straight off, Sel for me, Alonso, man. So I'm sorry.
Next one's interesting. We don't have to unpack that. That he's just, I don't even know why his name popped up, and the Spanish media are loving it because it means they can tweet about Man United.
Yeah, because they can tweet about it. I think they're just, they like the clip. So.
In the case of Reguilon, that's how I pronounce his name. Reguilon, that's how I pronounce his name at least. If that's the wrong pronunciation, fine. Johnny, you taking him?
If it's out of him and the other two, yeah, I'd probably take him.
Really?
Yeah, I think Cucurella stinks. And I'd be honest,
hold on. You think Reguilon is better than Cucurella?
From what I've seen at Spurs, and it's only limited. So in my opinion, could be wrong.
Better? What's he better at?
Say again?
What's he better at?
I think gets up and down the line much more than fucking Cucurella.
Cucurella ain't really been playing. So if we're going the Brighton version of Cucurella versus the Tottenham version, or even the Sevilla version of Reguilon, you think he's a better player?
I thought Cucurella was good at Brighton. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good move for him to Chelsea. Since he's got to Chelsea, it's been shit. So you can only go off your sort, as you say, you're always good as your last performance. What he's done at Chelsea, I would be staying well away from him, personally.
Jimmy, you said.
I'm always considering. When I'll be honest with the Reguilon one. It made my ears perk up a little bit because I was like, oh, okay, I would have never thought of that ever. But I would prefer Cucurella just because for me, I always think about Ten Hag's way of playing. When I think of Ten Hag, I think ability on the ball, control-wise, being able to recycle the ball, being able to try and keep hold of the ball when it gets a bit techie in terms of you being pressed hard and you have to move the ball quickly. I think I would go for. I think I would go for Cucurella for that reason. I think generally.
I won't go for Cucurella at all.
No, because I think Cucurella's ability to play to Ten Hag style is much better than.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Actually, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say buy Cucurella, buy Reguilon, and buy is it Rico Lewis is his name?
The fuck.
I'm buying all three, and the reason why I'm buying all three. I don't think it's hard to find someone better than Luke Shaw, man.
Bloody hell, how long is Luke Shaw injured?
By the way, people that I respect tell me that this boy from Brentford's pretty good, and I respect these people's opinions. That's why I'm buying him in it.
No, but what do you think when you've watched him though?
But in terms of I've got no memory of him. He's like I didn't watch a lot of Brentford last season. So even if he was there the season before, for whatever reason, I've got no memory of him. I'm just going to be honest. I just don't have a memory of him. So I'm not going to pretend. But I will just say, people that I respect have told me that would be a good signing. I respect those people. In terms of Reguilon and Cucurella, the way I look at it is, I think these guys can do more than Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's form's inconsistent. His fitness is inconsistent for one reason or another.
I agree with all that. Yep.
When it comes to tactically, Cucurella's clear. Cucurella may do stupid stuff on the football, but just positionally, his movement, understanding instructions from the coach, Cucurella will expose Luke Shaw's brain. or lack thereof it. Like, he will expose him tactically, big time. Reguilon, for me, I don't think he's adapted to the physicality of the Premier League completely, but he gets up and down that pitch a lot better than Luke Shaw. He drives with the ball quicker than Luke, better than Luke Shaw.
I noticed you haven't put Fernandes in this list. What's going on there?
Listen,
Why have you not put Fernandes? It's a good question, by the way. Big shout out to Jake L. Like, it's a good question. That
I tell you why. I agree with this, Team Royale. I agree with this. Alvaro Fernandes deserves an opportunity.
Yeah, I think you should put him in there. I think he needs to be in there.
The fact that we're looking at these players says Ten Hag don't want to give it to him. And I kind of get it. Garnacho's an option in that side. So Fernandes with Garnacho would be terrible, actually. You don't want Garnacho in front of a established fullback at times, let alone one who's young and learning his trade. That'd actually be setting Fernandes up to fail if he ever played with. Even with Marcus Rashford, it won't help him too much. And the fact that we're looking at these three players tells me Ten Hag just doesn't think he's ready. I'm not going to say Ten Hag don't rate him. He just doesn't think he's ready. So don't get me wrong. You got 2 first-team left-backs that are injured. For me, you go to the academy. That's what I was built on and raised upon.
Yeah, that's what I believe in as well, Danny. That's how I've always believed that, especially, I think those kind of positions. It's different in midfield, I think. I think it's different in midfield because it's quite hard to give a very young player that responsibility of running a midfield. But I think when it's the fullbacks or maybe the wingers, I think you should look to your academy first before you start going to get players that have never played in the Premier League or they have no knowledge of the.
If this is Louis van Gaal, Alvarez would get a chance. That's my thing. If Louis van Gaal was in charge, he'd get a chance. He'd play him. He'd definitely play him. I don't know why Ten Hag got to play him. I don't.
Well, who's that? Sorry, say that again.
If Louis van Gaal was in charge, Alvarez would get a chance.
Probably, because Louis van Gaal was always on that.
He had no playing kids. He had no problems playing kids. So...
Sorry, guys. There's fireworks outside my house. I don't know what's going on. There's fireworks.
Yeah, no, listen. Louis van Gaal.
It's not gunshots. I promise. Fireworks.
He had Paddy McNair looking like a good centre back for about 6 months. Tyler Blackett for about 7 games. Then I think it was obvious he didn't have the football brain. He's just good at duels and tackling in the channel, but positionally wasn't. You could see he weren't up to standard. But I agree with you, Johnny. Louis van Gaal, 2 injuries in 1 position. He'd go to the academy as well.
He'd go to the academy every time.
I don't understand that. Like this is actually works against Ten Hag, from a fan base perspective. Because one thing that United fans want is they want to see kids when an opportunity presents itself, they want to see a kid given that. I think this is the perfect opportunity.
You know what?
What's that, Jimmy? Instead of spending money, right? Just give him a chance for 2 or 3 months, and then by that time, if you need to, Luke Shaw's back. But like you might discover a little gem.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know what it is? I feel like Ten Hag's created this hard line where he's like, I'll give one guy an opportunity to come through the youth team.
For a long time.
Every season. And I feel like, okay, I get that if all is well, but all is not well. You've got 2 injuries to 1 position. So I get your rule. If you've got your first team players there, I ain't just going to bring a young player in over first team players just because.
The way that Van Gaal integrated young players as well, I think was really creative. If you look at Tyler Blackett and all those kind of players, I think he was really smart about the way that he brought him into the team. He would do this thing where he'd bring him on just after the half time, and I think it gives the player like a different level of confidence to bringing him up on 65 minutes. I know it's weird, but it's just the way I look at it. It's like when you bring on a young player at half time or just after the half time. Just wait, Johnny. Like I feel like it gives him a slightly more confidence, but also he would then, when he does that, he would then start him a game, and then he'd do that again in the next game. Then he'd start him, and it just seemed to give them a lot of confidence throughout the season. It was a very smart way of doing it. I feel like Ten Hag the Premier League is different. It's different to obviously the Dutch league, no question about it. But I feel like Ten Hag is maybe, I don't know, he's not mastered the art of integrating the youngest players into the starting lineup yet, or into the first team. So I think you will probably see a slightly different way of doing it this season because he's learning. Obviously, he's learning to see what the physical challenges are in the Premier League and stuff. So it's going to be a little bit different.
The manager could get in some good graces with the fan base here. Like, I think he's missing a trick here. I really do. He could get in the good graces of the fan base and give Alvarez a chance, right? And that's going to get a lot of the fans on side because the fans want to see youth at United like get given an opportunity. I'm not saying every kid can make it, but we're in a situation right now where either go into the market, go for a fucking left back that the fans don't particularly want anyway, right? And then from that player's perspective, he's going to be thinking, what? So I'm just going to be a stopgap till Luke Shaw comes back. So, right, are you really going to get a committed player? Whereas Alvarez, he'd be chomping at the bit, wants to impress his manager, wants to impress the United fans, is dying to fucking...
You've got a question, Johnny. You've got a question, by the way. You've got a question in here, in the comments. Do you really want Fernandes going up against Saka on Sunday, on a Sunday afternoon?
No, listen, of course I don't. But, like, there's a lot of things that I don't want. But, like, sometimes you've got to sink or swim. And I know it's not a light task going up against Saka. It's not. And if he had a bad game, would I kill him for it? Or, like, metaphorically speaking, would I go in? No, because he's a kid. He's a kid. I think if you're going to give him that kind of opportunity against Saka, who's one of the best wingers in the league, you have to understand what you're putting him up against. And if he fails, then he fails. But at least he gives his best. Listen, I'll never kill a kid for giving his best. I need to stop saying the word kill. I will never go in on a player for Jesus Christ. I'll never go in a young kid for giving his best. Like, I don't think Garnacho's as good as people think, but I know he gives his best when he's on field. He just tries his best. You can see he's trying his best. So right now we need all the players like giving the best. And I think like I would rather save the money, put that money to maybe into a better midfield and a bit more use into midfield, and I just give Alvarez a chance because Luke Shaw's out for 2 months approximately. Like, give him a chance, man, and just see how he does. Like that.
I think there is.
1 second.
Sorry.
You can give that kid a run of games. You can get an actual run of games, and you can make a proper assessment of that kid over that period and see is he really ready for the Man United first team or is not. Like, you've got a real good run of games there that kid can take.
You see that point that Danny, the point that Danny's just highlighted now. The Ten Hag gave plenty of Ajax. So big shout out, big up our Bibiana, man. He gave plenty of youngsters chances like De Ligt and Gravenberch at Ajax, and I think that's a really important point because there is obviously the track record is there. He's happy to give youngsters a chance, but I think they have to meet the profile and they have to be productive. And that's the difference. So for me, when I see youngsters that are coming into the team now, just trying to creep into the team, which is why for me, a Pellistri is a bit of an anomaly because I'm thinking, I think he's got the goods. But then sometimes I look at him, I think, okay, maybe Ten Hag doesn't think he's got the goods. So,
but you know another point, Jimmy. One more point. Somebody mentioned in comments, yeah. Johnny, do you want to put Alvaro? I do apologise if I'm not pronouncing his surname correctly. I've been pulled up on that. If I didn't pronounce his surname correctly, I do apologise. The Alvarez, I hope that's correct, right? But when you put Luke Shaw up against Saka, all Luke Shaw does anyway is back him up into the box. Literally, let's Saka walk into the box, cut back and take a shot. That's all Luke Shaw does. So he can't do a worse job than Luke Shaw, surely. Surely he can't do a worse job.
Well, you say that, but yeah, let's move on to the other topics because obviously we got a few things to go through. Danny, what are you saying? What we talking?
Well, you guys are going back and forth. I thought, let me just dip into my Gravenberch file real quickly.
When is this one from? When is this from?
Him at Ajax. I forget the season because I just get confused. Yeah, watch this. Just watch this. Watch this,
Daniel.
I'm just going to go through some Gravenberch clips, then I'll unpack a few things quickly. I just want people to enjoy this, innit? Sorry, I can't play full speed, man. Got an episode taken down from copyright. But listen, technically, this guy is brilliant. He's brilliant. See how he just took the player out there?
Oh,
that's a good take. That's a good take.
I'm sold. I'm sold. Listen, I need some technical players. I'm sold. That's it. I've seen enough. Sign him up now.
Takes the guy out of the game. By the way, I pointed out before, he can do things, and I've spoken about this before. Like first phase of play, yes, Gravenberch. And by the way, let me go back to this. Do you guys notice anything in this? What else do you guys notice? Because bear in mind, on paper, 4-2-3-1, Where's the midfield? Where's the midfield? I keep. There's a reason why when I talk about the Ajax games I watched, I keep saying what midfield.
Is this a Ten Hag team? This is a Ten Hag Ajax.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Where is it? Where do you see? Where do you see it? Where's the midfield? Anyway, Gravenberch is one of the midfielders. He's on the left wing. Yeah, it's just something that, and you can look at the DM there. That's probably Berghaus, the right back, and he's building with a back three, right? And Alvarez is in there by himself, outnumbered, a bit like when we played Leeds, but of course it's the Eredivisie, different quality, different league. Ajax had no problem building play because
build up. Yeah,
you can see why Ten Hag didn't have an issue with this setup in the Eredivisie. And this just reminds me last season. If you remember the goal at home against Everton, when the Bitzer got it out wide and started driving, I referenced it in the previous episode on our agendas. Gravenberch taking up a certain position, similar position. He can start high and come deep as well. So you see him here, positioned off the ball, right? Starting high. I think in his first play, he might have started off deep, but he's ended up being high. This is in the first minute of the game, by the way. Look where he is. I talk about these things that Ten Hag does, and they get dismissed. But trust me, I've watched Ajax. I can go and find these clips whenever I need to. He likes to get his players rotating different positions. We're not good enough to do that. We don't have the IQ in the team. But little things that he does do is he will position a player high. And what's supposed to happen is you execute the right pattern of play. So somebody like a Gravenberch, if you got him, he'll just spin from that position, recycle the ball. And then again, he'll get it here. When he gets it, you know what he's going to do? He's going to take it and he's going to drive. This is what he does.
Yeah, but you know the problem I have with that, Danny. The problem I have with that is in the Premier League, I feel like there's an element of if you're gonna be that high, then you have to make sure all your three midfielders are on the same page, because otherwise you will get exposed very, very quickly. But I'm saying if your main playing midfielder is that high, your other two midfielders have to be extremely switched on, because if they're not, you're going to get exposed really, really quickly in every match that you play against your teams that are playing a double pivot every single time. This is how we got exposed against Brentford in Bournemouth in the first games of last season. Okay?
That's what's been happening.
No, but the only reason why I'm bringing this up, let me be clear. Gravenberch operating in the first phase did happen, can happen, probably will happen. But Ten Hag does like to do this. So you see in this example here, I've got him highlighted, right? You see where
I like how he passes. Pass and move is good, is on point. I like that. I really like players like this, man.
But I didn't go deep in this one. I imagine that's the left back there. No, where's the left back? The left back's high and wide. So they're just basically building their 4-3-3 normally here. But again, in these spaces, he's a good ball carrier. That's something.
Yeah, man, it's nice. I know it's good. I've watched Danny. I've followed him a lot. I've followed him a lot.
But even in situations like this, where he's just operating in the middle part, like in the middle third, right? So he's not coming deep to get the ball, but he's operating in the middle third.
Ario's on smoke today. Shout out to Ario, by the way. Ario's on smoke today. So just highlight his question if you don't mind, Danny. If you don't mind.
I don't want to highlight. What does Ario want? Hold on.
No. Just highlight Ario's question, man. Come on, man. It's a good question. It's a good question.
If Gravenberch is that good, why debate? That's a fair question.
It's a good question.
I'll tell you what happened. So that recruitment department at Bayern that bought him just signed players for the sake of it. And that's not how Bayern Munich usually operate. When they get a player, they don't just, the guy's talented, so we buy him. No. Bayern usually have a plan. They bring the player in agreement with the coach, and there's a plan for that player. With Gravenberch, they were just looking to basically, it's almost like they were hoping to stick around long enough to make a profit on him. Because they snapped up Mazraoui. He's only just started games under Tuchel. He's only just getting game time now at the start of the season. And then they went and got Daley Blind. And even a Daley Blind signing. When you really think about the team and the players that they had, why did they go get Daley Blind? Lucas Hernandez, who they've now sold, but it was there last season. He can play left back and left centre back. And you've got Alphonso Davies. Did you need Daley Blind? No, but they bought Daily Blind anyway. So it just speaks to one of the reasons why Oliver Kahn, the guy Alazamazic, I forget his name, Eastern European guy that they brought in a few years back. This is one of the reasons that they've gone, because they just started saying, we can do these cheap deals. Let's go get these players. So yeah, this if he's so good, if he's so crap, why not let him go? Why? Well, Man United wanted him on loan in January, and it's not like he got much game time from January to the end of the season. If he's so crap, I could put it back to you, Ariel. Why didn't they just let him go in January and facilitate his sell? Even now, this summer, I just watched Richard Romano's video a few hours ago. They've been resisting his sale all summer. The player's pushing to leave. And Tuchel's telling him, nah, stay. I'm not Langelsman. You'll get game time. So if he's so crap, why have I not just sold him? You know, food for thought, innit? Yeah, I can't pronounce. How do you pronounce that? I can't. Sami Hamilovic. Shout out to Mo SD. Shout out to Mo. We covered it earlier on in the video, but I think Hoiberg. I think Hoiberg's a good player.
You've got a super chat, Danny. You've got a super chat as well.
Don't want it. Yeah, I just don't want him. Appreciate the super chat. United are number one in the league for winning the most. Let me read it here. Actually, why don't I read it on my laptop? United are number one in the league for winning the most possessions in the final third and top 3 in chances created so far in the PL. If we had a bad boy striker, Kane, we'll have 3 wins out of 3 wins so far.
I can't lie, the Kane one still stings, man. I can't lie, the Kane one is stinging me still, bro. When I watch him, the way he's playing in that Bayern Munich team, bro, I'm seeing just magic happening in that front 3, bro.
I'll say this.
He's making Sané. Done it. Wait, before you go. Kane has made Sané look so good. Sané was shit. Sané was rubbish in that Bayern Munich team. He wasn't rubbish. Maybe that's an overstatement, but Sané wasn't that great. Kane is making Sané look amazing, bro. I'm like, what is
if United
stings.
If United had out about him, like they would have absolutely broke the fucking bank to go get Harry Kane, man. They would have literally.
We should have dropped 110, 115 on him, no problem whatsoever.
They should have just thrown the kitchen sink at.
Anyway, go on. We're not having a Kane com. This is fine. Go on, Danny. Go on.
This example, I'll be honest with you. I can't even remember because this was created this so long ago. I'm just going to go through it and see what happens because I can't actually remember. Rare for me. But you see him again. You know what it is? He will help how we build play down the left-hand side. You've seen in the previous example, Gravenberch again. Like, he operates well in this space, whether it's between the lines, in the middle third, or even just knowing when to go out wide. You see him, he gets it. And again, watch what he does here. Like, under pressure. Yeah, you're gone. See you later, mate. Look, you're gone.
Yeah, that's a technical player, isn't it? That's technical.
You're gone. Listen, if you know me, you know I'm a big fan of Michael Laudrup. It's Michael Laudrup technique.
Can you zoom in a bit, please? I can't really see it.
That's as far as I can go. I can't really. Yeah, that's it. That's as far as I can go.
Yeah. Let me see if I can zoom in.
You're on your phone. That's why.
Johnny, try doing your screen in full screen. Do it on full screen.
No, I've done it.
Yeah.
This guy's got some.
See him here again. The ball carrying.
Again, play it again.
Play it again. But yeah, look, just yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you like a baller, innit, Johnny? You like a baller.
Listen, any elegance on the ball, man, and I am fucking sold.
I don't even know what else is in these other examples.
Fucking starving out here, man. Honestly.
What are you starving for?
Right,
good players. That's what.
Look, man. He's just comfortable, man. Driving into that space like it's nothing. Look how many players he draws around him. How many players he draws to him?
Got 4 around him there. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, but Danny, you see, this is a thing in the Premier League. Though. This is what I'm saying.
Wait. He's not done. Wait, he's not done.
He gets surrounded, finds the fucking opening, gets out of trouble, and carries on. Oh man, bring him to Man United.
Brother, I'm telling you, if that's Newcastle defense right now, you're gonna get those fullbacks are gonna tuck in so quickly that that space is not there anymore. I'm telling you, it's a very different proposition in the Premier League.
No, but
I know he's a good player.
This is why I disagree with you, right? Yeah. So we see Eriksen dropping deep to make the back 3. The difference is Eriksen from this position is looking to pass, right? He's looking
to find now.
pass. Yeah?
Right now.
Eriksen is not comfortable enough, and saying to get onto him, it's just his skill set. He's not a ball carrier. But if Ten Hag has a ball carrier who's got this type of skill, rather than look for a pass in these situations, he's going to drive with the football. He's going to break lines like Gravenberch does here. And you see this guy comes in. So now you talk about tucking in, Jimmy. The left winger tucks in. Hold on. Wait. The left winger tucks in to try and get him. Listen, man, get out of here, man.
That tucking in is it's gonna happen much quicker than that, Danny. In the Premier League, I promise you, it doesn't take that long for the defenders to get back and tuck in. That space there doesn't exist in the Premier League, not anymore.
You're doing it doesn't exist in the Premier League.
No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I hate being like the Premier League. Like, I don't like doing that. But I'm sorry. That space doesn't exist in the Premier League.
Why are you acting like space?
And I'm not saying that he won't be that good in the Premier League. I'm just saying that space. You know, the only team that allows that space, and I hate to say it, we're the only team that have allowed that space this season. We're the only ones that have allowed that space, and I hate to say that, but we are the only ones that have allowed that space.
All right, 1 second.
Only once. But we've allowed it.
All right. Got another super chat here from any Champions League clips of Gravenberch. If you send another super chat, no, I'm joking. What I'll do is I'll get to that later in the stream. If you want another example, I'm trying to think, what would I get? Let me see if I can find some. Let me see if I can get him doing some first. No, in the Champions League, they were so dominant in that 21-22 season.
Yeah,
he was high up the pitch a lot, to my memory. I'll go have a look. In the meantime, though, listen, man, this is what we've been waiting for. We need to get to this, dog, because we're already 40 minutes in. Yeah, I need to know how you, man, feel about the current Man United squad. Remind me of that super chat, please, Jimmy. Yeah, show his defensive work. You know what, Stanfield? Yeah, let me go find his Julian, and yeah, you know what we'll do? We'll do that naturally. But you got to send a super chat, Stanfield, in it, and I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll do what the other guy wants to get Champions League stuff in it. If you want Champions League, if you want defensive work, yeah, you got to pay, my brother. You got paid to play. Yeah, let's get into this. Can you, man, see this? Okay, let's get into this.
I can see it from you.
I'm just gonna say I feel I don't give a fuck. I swear down.
Let's get into this.
You're a Manchester United fan. You've got to give a fuck, bro.
Okay. So let's start with Bruno Fernandes for Johnny.
No.
So
why are you doing that?
There's context to buying and selling. I just need to know now, because you know what it is. I asked man to do this on Twitter, and people sit on the fence.
Why would you start it like that, Danny? Why are you like this, man?
Straight off the bat, is he going to have a good season or not? That's really the context for buying and selling here. So, Johnny, Bruno Fernandes, will he have a good season or a bad season?
I don't care whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I'm selling him. That's it. That's my answer.
All right, fine. So, Johnny has said Bruno's going to have a bad season.
No, I said I don't care if it's
good. No, do you listen to your own answer? Do you listen to your own statements sometimes when you make them? Do you when you say it? Do you just repeat in your head, just like?
Guys, I don't listen. The guy's a fucking false image, man. He's a fucking fraud. I don't care what anyone tells me. What stat you bring to me?
You just said you don't care if he has a good season. You want to sell him anyway.
You know what's funny? Yeah, 3 weeks ago we showed him Bruno's chance creation. He was like, some beautiful passes Bruno does.
I don't care, man.
See, that's what I mean.
Man. The guy drives me crazy. I'm selling him. I don't care. I'm selling him. And like,
all right, fair enough. Let's go to Anthony next. Jimmy, buy or sell? Is he gonna have a good season or a bad season?
No, buy. Good season. He'll have a good season. I think he'll have a good season.
Yeah. All right, cool. Donny van der Beek. No, I'm joking.
Don't play with my emotions.
Eriksen. Johnny, good season or bad season? What are we saying? Let me know in the comments as well.
I think Eriksen will have a good season. I'll keep him.
He'll have a good season, yeah?
Yep.
But you're selling Bruno but keeping Eriksen. Fair enough. Cool. Say less. Let's go with... Who do we go with next? I think Onana's obviously we're just gonna
let's just. There's no point.
Oh, this is an interesting one. This guy here, Anthony Martial.
Oh God.
Do you know what,
Uh,
Danny?
I'm just
Danny.
You're gonna
You
buy
hate me
it.
for this.
You're gonna buy
I'm
it.
buying. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I knew
am
it.
buying.
Yeah,
I'm
I knew
buying
it.
Martial. You know, I'm
I knew
sorry.
it.
Like,
I knew it. I bloody knew it.
I don't know. I see these little things in him, and I know he's it's like, you know, it's like a I don't know. It just he's continuously broken my heart when I've expected more from him, but I don't
Can I have a
know.
say
He's
on
like
this player? Can I have a say on this player?
it's like a cheating partner that he continued to take back.
Listen, I was fucking
Yeah.
president, CEO, fucking chief operating officer of fucking Martial FC. For some reason, I think he's gonna have a good season, but I would still sell him end of season.
I think he'll have a good season.
All
I
right,
really
so
do.
Johnny, I'm gonna explain this for the last time. It's not actually about buying or selling the player. Yeah. You know what? Let me change it right in here so Johnny can keep up.
I know what it is, you dickhead.
What, good or
Good
bad?
season.
Oh, for the good.
Good season or bad season. Yeah. No middle ground. Yeah. So you said Bruno's gonna have a bad season, but Martial's gonna have a good season.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Cool. Noted. You listen, Martial FC. You guys are dedicated. I can't lie. You man are dedicated. Next player. Come on. Next player on the list. Let's go Victor Lindelof. Actually, he ended the season well. Victor Lindelof. To be
Started
fair,
well as well.
but he came on against. Who did he come on against? Did he come on against Wolves?
He came on against Wolves.
Did he come on?
I know. Sorry, he came on in the Spurs game.
No, it was Wolves. It was Wolves because Lissandro was on a yellow card or had an injury, depending on who you believe, right?
So,
and he looked shaky to me.
Yeah.
Good season or bad season?
I'm saying good season for me personally.
What are you saying, Johnny?
I think if he's given the minutes, similar minutes last season, I think he'll be good. I think when he's starting week in, week out, you start to see his frailties. So I think he'll have a good season.
I agree, Johnny. I absolutely agree with that.
I think he's going to have a bad season, but 2-1. It's a democracy here, no problem. Another player, not controversial, but Dallo FC. There is a Dallo FC that's just very, very quiet in it.
Yeah, it's a new FC, though, isn't it? It's a new FC.
No, I know. They've been there since Ollie's time, but they only pop up.
Have they been there? Right, okay.
They're not committed. They're not kamikaze FC.
They're starting to get louder. They're starting to get louder. So I respect them for that.
They pop up. But Diego Dallo, good season or bad season? What are we saying?
Good for me. Good for
me.
I'm
bad.
I think at left back, good. I think at right back, bad.
But listen, if you're playing out of position, you're going to play good. But no, in his position, get him in bad, man.
Johnny, why do you think he's going to have a bad season? What are the signs?
Have you been watching him since he's been here? Like, he's not.
No. This I'm talking about this season. Based on what you saw late last season,
I don't think he's going to get any better than what we've seen. I don't think he's going to get any better. I don't think he's got a high ceiling at all. At all.
Fair enough, Johnny. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. No, I think he's going to have a good season.
And he's not giving out any flowers unless it's for Martial. Next guy will go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Good season or bad season?
Come off it. Are you having a laugh? Is that even a question?
I think he'll have a good season.
It's not a question.
1 second. Did Stanfield rise the bread? Let me have a look. We've got some super chats. Let me just get through these super chats, then we'll get back to the players.
Yeah, definitely.
I ain't forgotten about the Champions League clips. Ten Hag system, big on fullbacks. People forget. Good point. Agree with that. And he hasn't got new fullbacks. He's using the fullbacks that he should have got Gusto, though. That's on him. At the start of his first window, he had the choice, Malacia or Gusto. And what he did is he went and got Malacia in because it was quick to do. Then he was hoping we'd find a solution for Wan-Bissaka. Didn't work out that way. That's why you picked a better player. And Ten Hag has to learn from that.
Was that not just because he thought he was more moldable as a player?
I don't know what the reason was, but he picked Malacia. We've got some other super chats here. Stanfield rise the bread. Cheapskate though, 5. A typical Nigerian. To be fair, now a five is a lot for a Nigerian still. Trust me.
That means thanks. That means thanks.
Because don't get twisted, he would have seen the minimum in pound, and usually a Nigerian will go with the minimum's £2 or £1. I'm going with that. Appreciate the super chat, Stanfield. Big up to you.
We'll Kalon as well. Kalon with
we'll do defensive work, but what I'll do, because of other super chat and time, we'll look at his defensive work in the Champions League, innit? Because they're in the division. What's the point? Let's keep it real. Another super chat here. One more. Appreciate the breakdown, my guy. Appreciate the super chat, man. Appreciate the super chat. I always try to incorporate some Y Scout breakdowns, and it just have to be careful because I've had 2 episodes taken down because of Y Scout. Because I've been abusing White Scout a little bit. So yeah, I appreciate the super chat, my brother. We're gonna get back to these player stuff. Just run through this quick though, so I can get to Champions League defensive duels on Gravenberch. Let's go. Bobby Schmurder. Look at that smile. Can you see the smile? Can I zoom in on this? Hold on. Look at that smile, man.
What? Malasia smile.
Where is he? Where's Bobby? Can't miss that. Look at Bobby's smile, man. Let me zoom in on this. Can I go across? Oh, it's not letting me go across. Where's he gone?
No, you can't go across.
Daniel, can you stay focused, please?
There he is, man. Look at that smile, man. Look at Bobby Schmurder. Look at Bobby Schmurder. What are we saying? Buying or selling?
Bad or sell?
Yeah, see, I hate to say it. I'd sell as well.
Yeah, I'd sell too.
I hate to
No
say
love for
it.
Bobby, no?
No, man.
He took a bid though. Did one for the team. Took more time. You man is saying no.
No, I did, but you know, it's just, I don't know. It's not been what I thought it was going to be. To be fair, so
yeah, not as good as Nerdin said he would be. Shout out to Structure. Let's go to Jadon Sancho next. Buying or selling?
good season for me.
Reluctantly. Oh, see, you've changed it to buying or selling. Reluctantly, I'd sell him. But
Sorry, good season or bad season?
that's dependent on Ten Hag. I think he could have a good season. I actually think he could have a good season if the manager would give him a fucking.
I'm gonna say good season. It's a long season. I think in the end, injuries. We will get injuries in the front line. Garnacho will likely still be a super sub.
If Ten Hag doesn't change his thoughts on him, he's going to be leaving at the end of the season, and I don't really want that.
Johnny, I don't think he's going to have a choice. I think Sancho will end up basically annoying. Basically, Ten Hag's going to end up annoying everyone. I'll put it like that. By the end of the season, we're going to be saying Sancho should leave, but not because actually the role he's been given and the time he's been given, he's not actually delivered to a decent standard. I think we're going to see other players play poorly and get more opportunities than him. And you're going to see him play well, but then end up on the bench the next game and not get opportunities that he should. But I think he's going to have a good season and actually put him in a good shop window, which is rare for Man United. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. Let's go to... Is that Tom Heaton? I don't recognize his face. I don't even know who that is.
That's Heaton there, top second left.
Let's just go bad season, innit? Because let's just say bad season. Like that whole situation, we're not rising the bread. He's not going to perform. Game over, innit? Marcus Rashford.
Bad
Johnny.
season. Bad season.
Look at him. Couldn't wait.
What?
Bad season.
Why?
You're saying Rashford's going to have a bad season?
Yep.
After oh my god, why?
Let me put it in this context as well.
After his GA last year,
No. Even on in terms of performances, he's wishy-washy even when he gets GA anyway. So I get that part. But you think he's not going to bag his goals and do his numbers this season?
No. I might get cooked for the end of the season, but no.
So he's not going to match his 30 GA season?
No. I think he's going to get less. You
having that, Jimmy? What are we saying?
No, good season for me, of course.
Man, you're bugging, man. Keep hating on this boy. Listen, Rashford 0 to 90-minute performances. I get it. I get it. But the boy is going to win football matches for Manchester.
He's going to win football. That's exactly what I was going to say. And he will win football matches, boy.
He is not somebody who has.
He won us that match. He won us this match.
Doesn't have the skill set to be a performer over 90 minutes, and he never will be. Marcus Rashford will never be a 0 to 90-minute, do the right things, tie up nice in a fucking bowl round a new shiny car player. He'll never be that football player. Yeah,
Danny, look at Ice Trey's comment. Look at Ice Trey's comment.
I will. He's a match winner. Yeah. And on that score, I'm telling you, he's going to match his 30 GA and he's going to bag.
It's not, man.
In the context of what he is, he's going to have a good season. I know other people will say his performances, his IQ, his decision-making, all of that. Yeah, at the end of the day, you know what Marcus Rashford is. So if he don't score goals, then I'll be with you, Johnny, because he's capable of scoring goals. That's what he's capable of.
Shout out nonchalant. Says, who hurt Johnny?
I know this shit gets clipped up on Twitter. You ready to first? It's not numbers. He's fucking fooling you all, and you fucking edit it first. Watch what happens. You're all getting fooled by this guy. He's a fucking other false image.
What did you say? He's not going to get his numbers, yeah? Okay.
No, he's another fucking false image, man. Mr.
All right. Language. Trying to monitor.
What's he got so far this season, Johnny? How many games have been played, and what's he got so far?
I don't care, man. He's got one.
What do you mean you don't care?
Moving on. Rapid fire. Let's move on. Casemiro, good or bad season?
This is a tricky one for me, actually, to be fair. Are you asking me, or are you going to Johnny first? Is it me?
We're going to you.
Do you know what? I'm gonna say bad season.
What player is it, Jimmy?
Casa.
Oh, no, I think Casemiro. Listen, put some respect on fucking Casemiro's name, man.
I'm gonna say bad season just because unless he gets a midfielder to play, not a lot. Everyone keeps saying alongside him. I don't think it's necessarily has to be alongside him. Just someone who can drop in when they need to and then be quick on that transition. I think if he doesn't get that assistance, I think he has a bad season for me. And I can't see us getting a. If we get an Amrabat, Casemiro's having a good season. If we don't get an Amrabat, Casemiro's having a bad season. And I hate saying that. I don't like it because he's one of my favorite players.
I'll say this to you now. If he has a bad season, we're not making top 4. Just tell him man now.
No, that's true. That's very true. I agree with that.
No, I
will agree with that to the T. Absolutely, 100%.
Tell him man now. Hoyland, the boy's going to come good.
He's going to come good. There's no question.
The boy's going to come good. He's going to have a good season.
Bloody has to, innit? He bloody has
Mason Mount, I think, is going to have a bad season.
Only the first season, or I think he'll be all right in the second season.
I think he'll follow the manager's instructions, but I think he's going to struggle to get into games, and I still have a big question mark. The same things I question Anthony on. So with Anthony, it's like
Johnny. Just to warn you, Drill Chester's in the chat.
I know it's fun. Oi, listen. Let me tell you something.
Drill Chester's in the chat. I'm sure he's coming for Johnny.
Listen. I fucking swear. I swear.
What, Johnny? No, don't just stop swearing.
No. Listen, stop. One second, Jimmy. You're not going to stop me being me. So if you don't like swearing, don't watch.
But you can just.
I don't care about Johnny swearing. Yeah,
just regulate the swear words. Just take out the swear words. That's it. You can say all you want.
Listen, I'm not going to not be myself. Don't fucking like it. Go fuck yourself.
No, but this is being monetized, so you have to regulate your swearing.
It's not getting monetized. It's not. It's told me that ages ago. It's not. So, like I said, if you don't like my swearing, do one. Kiss my fucking ass.
Claire, not getting monetized because of you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, shout out to everybody for the super chats because appreciate the super chats. That's the only monetization that's going to happen.
That's the only monetization that can exist with all this swearing on the platform.
Shout out to everybody. Because of Johnny, the videos are not going to be monetized.
Oh my
God. So big up to everybody for the super chat.
Daniel, you know me. I have been trying to minimize my swearing, and you know that. But
you have not tried to minimize your swearing.
All right, look. Let's move on. Let me just be clear. On Mason Mount, I think he'll follow the manager's instructions, end up in the right positions.
I don't think he's going to do great.
But ultimately, I think he's going to be erratic in key moments. I'm not talking GA. I'm talking...
Who's that, Daniel?
Crossing in key moments. When the move is...
It'll be unquantifiable.
So when we execute a good passing move and he needs to execute a good cross, I think he's going to be 50-50. Yeah, at best. No, not even that. Because 25% is actually a good rate for crossing. It's going to be worse than that. When it comes to, that through pass to the fullback, little moments in link play, his decision-making and his final ball in that regard, I've got big question marks over. And for that reason, I'm going to say he's going to have a bad season. I don't know how he's going to integrate to the team completely anyway. So I'm saying bad season for Mason Mount. Although, pressing-wise, actually, you know what? I'm a flip-flop. Now, let me...
Yeah. Fucking hard play.
I said all of that, but then I think we're going to continue to press better, win the ball back, and he's going to be key to that. And we'll end up scoring goals in those situations rather than be good as a team that actually sustains attacks. This is how my brain works. He's going to have a good season. I'm a flip-flop. Don't worry about me. But I use logic to flip-flop. I don't just flip-flop for no reason. Rafael Varane. Good season or bad season?
Johnny's
I
getting
thought-
killed. Johnny's getting killed. in
I
the
don't give a
comments for
fucking
blocking
shit. I've
him
got a
dead.
Kevlar vest on. You can't kill me, bitches.
Good season or bad season? What are we saying?
I think Brennan will have a good season. I think he'll have a
Look,
good
Johnny,
season.
you're getting love, Johnny. Why are you swearing at people? Look, you're getting
Now,
love.
hey, big up
Getting a lot of
Kalen,
love,
man.
boy.
Big up Kalen. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Rest of you, fuck yourselves, man.
This guy, Rafael Varane, put some respect. Yeah.
No, he's having a good season. There's no question.
Champions
about it.
League Varane will return.
He will
Kobe, I
always-
think, is
he'll
going to
always
have a
be
good
there. He'll always
season.
be. Yeah.
Garnacho, I'm going to say good season for
Good
him.
season, I would
Contact.
say. Yeah. Yeah.
Sandro, good season. Luke
Yeah.
Shaw can go to hell.
Go to hell.
Danny,
Go
Danny, have you
low.
included Amrabat in the line? Have you included Amrabat in the squad?
No. He was just there for the template, innit? He was just
All
there.
right. Oh,
He was
okay.
just there. Shout out to everybody watching. We've gone to an hour. To end the
Oh,
stream.
Daniel, the way you said go to hell then.
I'm done. Listen, I've been done with Luke Shaw since the 7-0 and it was the Arsenal game as well. Those two games,
I
I've been
expected you to say that.
done with the
Yeah,
guy.
Ice Tray is so controversial. Shout out Ice Tray, man. You're so controversial.
Hey,
man.
Daniel, you have to run a space.
I'm gonna have to screenshot your comments, but it is so controversial. I love it, man. I love it.
Daniel, you have to run a space after this, man, just for comedy value. You have to.
Nah, definitely. I need you and Jill on a space tonight.
What we're gonna do though, again, shout out to Stanfield. Let's preface this properly. So, my brother wanted some Champions League clips of Gravenberch, and Stanfield wanted to see his defensive work. So what we're gonna do? We're going to go into the Champions League for him and we're going to look at that stuff. And again, I haven't prepped this or nothing in it. So
these comments are funny, man. Drill has me blocked, you pussy.
let's go with, where is it? You wait for Champions League seasons. Let's just so I don't get lost, because when I make this small, I'm not going to see what I need to see in it. So we can look at loose balls as well. Yeah, let's look at loose balls. And we just got them all here in it. So you can see a success rate. Oh, why is Scout so weird? So on the video, I need to zoom out. Oh, so annoying. Cool. Defensive duel rate all seasons in the Champions League. So you can see from 27-18 all the way to, obviously this season wouldn't be included, but yeah, since up until last season. Overall defensive duels, 56%. When you consider his profile similar to Pogba's, that's pretty good. Loose ball duels won, 48%. Most players actually, I've noticed, don't really get over 50% for 50-50s. Let's get into some of them. Let's look where there's more of a decent sample size. All right, so let's get into, let's look at, 67% is pretty high. You can see it's a bit, I'm trying to find one where he's contested a lot. All right, let's see him against Atalanta. That's a young Gravenberch, right? Put that in context. That's young.
When is this from? When is this one from?
Oh, I can't remember.
2020.
Can't remember. What I want to do though, I want the video to be decent size in it. And I want to get copyrighted. So I don't know when the defensive duel happens. All right, cool. Where is this loose ball? Where is it? Is that? Is that what it is? Is that what they're saying is a loose ball duel? Is it that one? All right, that's nothing. He won that. That's nothing. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to find when I come into these things, innit? So let's see. Okay, you see him here. All right, rest defense settings. That's him there, innit? He just loses the ball. That's all that happened there. I'm giving it some time, innit? And let's see. I just got robbed. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come out. I'll get into one more of this, but with loose duels, it can be any type of 50-50 in it. It's not going to be as well categorized as defensive duels in it, so I'll go to that next. Yeah, they just plucked it out of the air and then slow to react. And there's not really too much to, you know what I'm saying to you, look at there. I'm going to go to this one because he contested 7 duels in this game. 1-4, lost 3. Let's have a look at them. All right, this is against Bayern. Now, that's him 4 playing Bayern, but they're playing against bums, innit? But let's look. I didn't mean to let that play. All right, cool. See what happens. All right, is he going to help out his boy? Is he going to help him out? Is he going to win it? I don't know if this unsuccessful, successful. Let's see. All right, you fouled him still. At least he wanted to get back. What, the ref didn't call that? The ref just let that go. I thought the foreign refs were better than the Premier League refs. What happened?
It's like refs against Manchester United all over again, isn't it?
No, the ref let that go. Surprise still. All right, we'll get into the next one. Again, this is not filtered. I don't know what happens there. So these have not been selected for quality.
If you play them continuously, you get copyrighted.
Yeah.
Bullshit, that, man.
You see him here. All right, just used his body. Kept the ball. How do you read this situation, though? So that's a hospital pass, isn't it? Then he just shields the ball. Cool. Say less. Next one. Again, no idea what happens. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. He got bypassed there. Let's have a look. See how that happened. I don't know if we can really blame him for that because he's marking out of a guy in it. Again, take from it what you want to take from it. Because he's marking this guy in it. Then he steps out. Gets done. What's the recovery saying, though? You're going to get back?
No, he's not getting back. I mean, he's trying.
What's his primary profile, Danny? What's his primary?
Hybrid, isn't it? He's more like similar to Pogba in terms of strength and weaknesses, isn't it? Let's get into this next one. It's a hair. I've got no idea what's going to happen. No idea at all.
And starting is irritating, man.
Yeah, I don't even know where the action is here. What I'll do, let's get into the next one. 12 in that one game. That's a lot. Let's get into, against Inter. See how he put in work in this game.
When is that? 2022?
That's last season because it's Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
So where's the action at? Yeah, you're not really going to learn. I'll be honest. See, this is why you need to curate certain things, innit? What I'll do quickly, just because I think we might.
Johnny nonchalant's trying to trigger Johnny. He says he's way smarter than Pogba.
Yeah, man. Listen, not worth my time, man. Not worth my time.
Oh my God!
Not everyone needs a reaction.
Nah, I know. Just yeah. I just know when people are trying to trigger you, Johnny. I know it.
Yeah, he don't really go for tackles. 0.1, you can't see it, but I can.
I shout to him comments, man. Love your baby.
You don't really be getting into tackles like that. Let's go into this game because you contested a lot of duels in this game. Let's see what go on. All right, rest defense settings, counter pressing. Let's see what go on. Just watch him, my brother. Do something. Okay, that was nice.
That's a good tackle.
You see, Jill? Jill, leave my missus alone, man. She don't want no stinky Bruno shirt, man. Leave her alone. We're good. We're good.
You see him here. I like this. See, when I see man in a shape like this, yeah, like he's a linebacker in the NFL, isn't it? Yeah, lining a man up. What you got for me? Bad touch, clamping that. Yeah, lazy counter pressing. Is that little the bodybuilder? That looks like Brobby or whatever his name is. Slacking. He was putting in work like Gravenberch. They would have won the ball back.
Danny, he likes going wide, doesn't he? A lot.
Yeah, he'll end up out wide. Yeah,
but he likes going wide. He goes wide quite a lot.
That situation is just strong on the player backing in for a long ball. Cool. Say less. All right, cool. You're gonna try and help the midfielder. What's he doing here? All right, cool. This situation, he has to run back in it. All right, got some help. Slightly getting busy. Again, I'm not sure what to take from that.
Drill, buried deceased lifeless. BDL, buried deceased lifeless.
Yo, shut up, man. I'll remove you from the stream in it. Rest defense settings again. Let's see if he's gonna recover in this situation. Long legs, man. Didn't work that time. You see what he's trying to do in it. So you see him here. Yeah, once he planted his feet, then he's trying to stretch. Yeah, it just didn't work out for him on that one.
It's a good point from Nonchalant to say that, when I was saying he likes going wide, it's Ten Hag's instructions, in it. So he would probably play in a similar fashion if he came to Man United, in the sense of helping out on either sides, depending on where the weakness is. Do you know what I mean?
But I've said this, Ten Hag, I even spoke about one of the Ajax guys, spoke to him about this. Ten Hag likes to do that. He likes to take liberties. When I said to the Ajax guy, he took liberties with him, he's like, he agrees. Anyway, see him in this situation. Trying to give you your money's worth in it. So my apologies, these aren't the best examples, but when you're just looking randomly, it's what happens, right? A little 50-50 situation. Can you... I just had to foul him.
Yeah, but Danny, the thing is, when midfielders are being defensive, sometimes it's not even the actual one-to-one physical contacts. It's just positioning makes them really good defensively. Like, sometimes just the way they place themselves means the other team have to go in a different way to what they would have wanted to go. So I think that makes all the difference as well. Like, it's not always about...
You know what I might be able to do?
Face-to-face contact. Let
me see if they've got balls lost, tackles, interceptions, defensive positioning. They don't have deep coverage, which is disappointing, because deep coverage...
Shout out to Team Royale, man. Facts, man. Facts. Shout out to Team Royale. Spot on. Spot on.
What's Team Royale said?
Just put BDL, DDL, fucking E-Tag out, Ollie in, all out. He's not wrong, though. He's not wrong. Big up Team Royale, man.
Now, look, the only official one registered, trademarked, and everything is BDL. That's the only one that's official. Trademarked, registered. You can join membership. It's all legit.
So this one's just, I think, my bad, people. Yeah, man, I clocked him. I think he's being lazy here. Other teams in transition. Yeah, man, he's not busting the gut to get back. I'm pretty sure that's Gravenberch there. They'd usually highlight that. But you can see...
Say hi. Say hello. Say hello to everyone.
Look, you watch him here. Oh, why is the volume on? You're really trying to copyright me. Yeah, man, slow hair. Yeah, I knew they highlight him. I knew that was Gravenberch. I could tell. You could just see here. Yeah, he could have got back quicker. Because if you look when it starts, that's his man. I know Stanfield will like this example. This the shit Stanfield wants to see in it. Situations like this, buying the squeezing. Yeah, the way Man United don't, innit? See how compact they are. That's their attack. That's their midfield. Look how narrow their back line is. Yeah, squeezing. But you can see him here. Look, he only starts reacting now. Look, pay attention. Look, even now, yeah, he's just not active, and he's supposed to be marking that player or tracking that player. Only starts reacting at the last moment, innit? And then they're going to get that overload on the other side, but got away with it. Let's get into the next example. All right, cool. They've got spotlight on him there. Cool. All right, now he's ready to track. Not much for him to do there. He did what he was supposed to do, really, innit? He did what he was supposed to do. What I like here is if they're trying to play a 1-2 around him, he's not having it. Right? That's why he's fighting that guy.
Yeah.
That pass bypasses him. Maybe you're critical if he wants to intercept it, but he's just marking his man. He's more concerned with that. As soon as the ball goes in, you can see him. He's ready. He knows, yeah, I ain't letting you play a 1-2 around me. I like that. Declan Rice is a master at this. When Declan Rice is in these situations, he's not letting my man off the back of him.
But this is why sometimes when fans are talking about these defensive positions in midfield, and it's really hard, when they leave that pocket, that trap pocket behind the two midfielders, because the transition happens, and then the midfielders have to be quick enough to then get into defensive positions, and it's just like, it's not always easy, man. People need to understand midfielders have to be really, really good players. It's not an easy thing to do all the 90 minutes, doing it constantly.
Harry's chilling, really got nothing to do in it.
Yeah, man.
I tell you what, some people don't like his body language, though. That I'm telling man now, because he's got that relaxed.
Why is that?
That relaxed body style in it.
Listen, body language experts, you can suck a fat one as well. They do that to Martial, dickheads.
Yo, we just saw Messi do a madness after relaxing for about 5 minutes. Did you
No,
see that?
man,
Did you see that clip?
Everyone's suddenly a body language expert. Shut up, man.
No, I'm just saying. You see players. Some players, if they're good enough, they can relax for a bit, and then before you know it, they're explosive.
Yo, Stanford, let me know in the comments what you think of this Stanford, the way he's running back in it. Just what do you think of this Stanford? Look, see him there. But look, I don't know, man. Look, man, let him back. I don't like that. That tells me, yeah, look, the sign in his body language, he ain't really on it. He's just, let me just get back for the quarter. Not much he can do, though. He did the minimum in it, deterred the player in it. So he did the right thing, though. Just getting onto him.
Hey, Daniel Keegan _MUFC, block that prick.
I can't see the comments, man. I'm just focused on Y-Scout. I'll block him afterwards. See him here. Hold on. Oh, shit, it's going to copyright me. All right. Yeah, man, head down. Hard work. See, when you see a man, look, man who do this, yeah, they don't really want to be running in it. I know Stanford will get what I'm saying. When you see a man, hold on. Yeah, he put his head down like, I need to work. It's like, damn, I need to close down this space. That's the bare minimum, man. He ain't really trying to get back. Let's be honest.
Quite a distance to cover as well.
Yeah, he's just like, this is long, man. Like, I ain't really getting back for that. Let me try to move away from the Netherlands, though. There's bare Netherlands clips in here. Let me get out of this. Let's go. So Bayern Munich an example. Yeah, I'm trying to give the man them their money's worth, innit?
I think they have got it.
Where is he here, though? I don't know where he is. Where is he? Yeah, I don't know where he is here. What's this telling me? What's this showing me? Is that? See the lean back? I bet that's him. Yeah, that body shape tells me that's him still. So if I go back, okay, they've got their pressing wrong.
Yeah,
I swear that's him. Am I wrong? That's him here, right? Marking this player. No, that's not Gravenberch. That's someone else.
No, that's not him.
Oh, he's highlighted there somewhere. No, he's here. Yeah, that's where he is. So where was he at the start of that move? Yeah, some of these clips you won't really learn that. I'm not going to lie to you. That's why you need to watch them, filter them properly, etc., etc. Too many Netherlands examples. Let's go. I think Gladbach. Let's see Kone there, active. You know, when you go on a clip and you just see a player, so that's Kone. Tell you he's active just when you go on a random clip and he's there.
Joseph thinks McTominay is better defensively than Gravenberch, so just to let you know.
Trying to wonder why he got caught out here. All right, so if you look at this. So here, 4-3. He's gesticulating. All right, he's letting man know. He's literally looking and saying, yo, we got 2v1 here. If I block this passing lane, that man's free. I'm kind of screwed in it. So he knows, innit? Look, he's pointing. Someone pick him up. So I wouldn't really blame him for this. That shows me good awareness, though. I like this. I like this because he recognizes they're between our lines. He just knows that if you're free, if he comes any further, that's your three midfielders on one side of the football pitch. That's what I'm saying to you. So I think that's good awareness from him. He reckons someone has to pick him up, whether it's a centre-back that steps out. But he still needs to prepare for this pass, innit? He's positioned himself poorly, though. Because he's recognised the problem, you should probably just drop off. So when that ball goes here, because you see, the moment that pass goes there, yeah, now you got to do a 180 and chase him, man, innit? So he recognised the situation, probably could have took different positional action there and just... man's just chatting shit now. Positional action. Yeah, I'm ending the stream. What's positional action? What is that?
Know.
Yeah, man's just chatting shit at this point,
Just
innit?
read that up.
Man's just making stuff up at this point, innit? So I'm gonna, man, that's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Positional action. Just waffling. One of those people. Okay, one of those respectfully idiots. All right, cool. Appreciate the super chat though. Appreciate the super chat.
Appreciate all the listeners. But guys, smash the like, please, because the likes,
smash
again,
the like
they're
button.
not, there's a lot of people viewing, but not enough likes. Just everyone, just smash a like. It's quick. Takes you less than a second. Just do it, man.
Come on, guys.
Smash the like button.
Shout out to everybody that put the super chats in. Hopefully, you feel like you got your money's worth, or some of your money's worth for the Gravenberch clips. But that's what happens when you don't filter it and you just end up with random clips in it. You might not always find what you're looking for. But again, what 55% for a midfielder defensive duel rate? It's pretty standard. It's nothing special. It's not bad either. You know what I mean? It's good. So, but how you adapt to the Premier League's another conversation. Hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification
Danny,
bell.
Got a question. But
when is Mr. Structure coming on to the show?
When's Nottingham coming on, Mr. Structure?
You know what it is? He tends to stream on the same day at similar times, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get him on. I want to do a what do you call it? A John.
I know agendas show.
Yeah, I want to. Once the window's closed, I want to unpack it with a couple man that's anti-Murta, innit? So I'm saying to you, because listen, I don't lie to people. I've never told anybody Murta's a talent ID specialist. I never said he's the most amazing technical director in the world. I just judge his job based on the club that he's working at. He's working for the Glazers, and he's working under constraints, and his context to how we try to do deals. And I judge John Murta in that context, innit? I don't do the unicorn thing where someone tells me, if we had another technical director, they wouldn't make any mistakes. When you see one thing or a few things you don't like, trust me, every director of football has horrible mistakes in their CV. Everybody.
Annie, these top clubs are still making mistakes now. To this window, they're still making mistakes.
Real Madrid make mistakes.
It happened, man. It happened. But
are you going to respect Spurs, Daniel?
And you know what? Even the Bellingham deal, that was lucky. That was a lucky deal. They were lucky with that deal, man. I'm telling you.
What do you want to talk about on the space?
I don't know. Just like what do we always talk about? Football. We always
talk about. Just talk football. Appreciate the shout, Ashtray. On what's Cucurella or Rico? I'm intrigued. I might have to go do some research on Rico. I might have to do some research because, yeah, man. I ain't watched enough of him. Real quick though, I met my promise on the preview. Quick thoughts on the Forest game. I'll say this. After we conceded the goal, I felt like we did build a good level of patience. I know they conceded to the low block, but we still had patterns of play that we needed to run. And I saw us running those patterns of play. What I didn't like, though, was the intensity wasn't high enough. Speed of like the passing and like whatnot. When we hit a good level of, say, intensity and speed of play, we didn't
devastating.
No, not devastating. We didn't sustain it, in my opinion.
It was devastating moment. Devastating.
We didn't sustain it. And also, how would I put it? Just, when you build momentum, yeah, it's more so you build momentum, then you sustain the attack. Too many times we're taking long to build momentum. I see us executing the patterns. We do some good patterns of play, but then Forest have the ball for a few minutes. And I'm like, no, you need to stay on their necks. So I saw the players executing some stuff, first half and second half patterns of play wise, that were good. But the level and intensity and sustaining attacks after building momentum, not good enough. After getting the first goal, didn't keep their foot on the necks. Even after getting the second goal, we didn't keep our foot on the necks. We didn't control the game. And once they went down to 10 men, they were the better team. As soon as they upped their intensity and aggression, we couldn't match it. And I don't know what it is with these players. We couldn't even play out from the back. We had an extra man.
And that was weird. That was very strange. Very strange.
And all they were doing, by the way, and it shows me the IQ of the players, when they're not prepared for something, they don't know what to do. It speaks to the overall IQ of the team. All they were doing, because they had an extra man, is they'd overload on one side for the press. So you work it one direction to the other. And the players themselves couldn't even figure out how to do that.
They would keep the ball with extra man advantage. It's fucking embarrassing. It's just embarrassing.
Just embarrassing. And I tell you what, if we keep finishing games the way we have the last half an hour or second half performances against Arsenal, we're going to get slapped. We're going to hold 4 or 5.
Quick on that game,
we're going to hold 4 or 5. Not good enough. If you guys quickly just want to give your points on the Forest game,
yeah.
We'll wrap up in it.
It's like, I'm sorry, like it's not good enough for Man United to be giving us that kind of performance at home to Nottingham Forest. And I don't mean to sound disrespectful to Nottingham Forest, but generally speaking, these lesser teams, we should be dealing with them with a degree of comfort. We were comfortable, in my opinion, on Saturday. Not enough in that game. We had a few periods, but generally speaking, it's not good enough. Like, and when they're going down to 10 men, like old Man United, and I know we're not old Man United, I know we're not, like, we're trying to get back there, I understand that. But old Man United would have had them fucking camped in there out and peppering them. Like, it was just a complete contrast to what we used to be like. And it's just another reminder that we are a long way from where we're trying to get to, but it's not good enough. And that with this Wolves game, the Spurs game, it leaves you feeling very underwhelmed and disheartened for the season. Yeah, you want to be up for the season, want to be keep, but it's very hard to get up for it. Like, very hard to find that passion when you're seeing that. You're getting fed that bullshit. Like, if that was food, well, that's food out of a bin. I ain't eating that. Fuck off. Give me. I want some steak, man. Go get me some spag bolognese. You get what I'm saying? So it's not good enough, and it really needs to improve drastically and quickly, because the longer this goes on, this is like stagnant, dead football, the more the manager's going to come under pressure, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I want him to be successful. Don't get anything that I've said misconstrued or misunderstood. I genuinely want tonight to be successful, and I think he can be, but a lot of things have got to improve. And some of it is on the manager himself.
Yeah, I agree with you in some part, but I think for me, we had a horrible 15 minutes. And after that, I think the game was fine. The way that we played was okay. I'm not saying it was great or it was particularly impressive, but I think it was efficient enough. I think it was productive enough. I think we created enough chances. Again, I go back to the fact that we as a team, we create enough chances, Johnny. There's so many matches where Ten Hag is coaching, and people hate me when I say this, but this is how I see it. Ten Hag is coaching 2-3, 4-0 wins, but he's getting draws and losses. That's because we're not clinical enough. And that's not just the strikers. That's all the players on the pitch. So when I look at the first 15 minutes, horrible, horrific. I mean, the goals we conceded, it's like, how? How is that even possible? For a team that finished third in the Premier League last season, for a team that had the most amazing stats in the Premier League last season, and then you concede those kind of goals, it's disappointing to see. Once we clicked into gear, I think we were fine. I don't think we were horrible. I don't think we were bad in many moments. I think we dominated most of the game. I think there was patches of the second half where we lost it again, and then we were trying to get it back. Like Danny said, it's strangely enough, when they lost a man, we seem to have played worse, which is the weirdest thing to me to see.
One quick point. Sorry, Jimmy. Sorry. Please finish. You finished?
Yeah, I'm done. Go on.
All right.
Go on.
I was on a space last night with Sewell. He's a big United fan, got a big account. And he's under this impression. I'm not trying to talk badly about him. This is an opinion, and I respect him. But he was under this impression that when Hoiberg comes in, like suddenly this team's going to start playing well. And like, I feel like at the end of the day, he's only 20 years old, so he's relative to a football. He's a kid, right? But I don't like the idea of a kid coming to this team that it's not a stable team. Like it's not like everything's connecting well, and he's going to be the little cherry on the cake.
I'll tell you what, though, Johnny. I would say this with Hoyland, right? You see the ball security you got from Martial.
Yeah.
And the platform it gave for us to link play against low blocks.
Yep.
Maybe against Arsenal it'll be tricky. You never know what can happen, but against the smaller teams, that run of games is good for him. After international break, hopefully he doesn't go and stop him from going. You can put in some more training sessions. But having that vocal point, a reliable centre forward who makes the right movements, who stays central, who, when those balls are flashing across the box, is likely to be there, will help the team.
I mean,
He'll help the team. And you saw Martial just having someone, even saw Rashford having somebody to bounce off of. You know how those two link up. Just those little balls between the lines. Hoyland's like, he's raw, but he's not raw in that aspect of the game. He's more raw when it comes to pinning centre backs. He's more raw when he's actually dribbling into the channels and knowing what to do in certain complex situations. He's more raw in that sense. But when it comes to receiving ball into his feet, yeah, he trust me, he's more polished than people.
Remember some of them finishes, Daniel, that you were showing us on the video clip. Some of them finishes.
His movement in the penalty box is already there for his age. Like, he's already there in it. But look, we're an hour and a half. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
A big up,
Special
everyone.
thank you, and just a big up to everybody that sent in super chats. Really appreciate that. You know, can't monetize because of Johnny, because of the swearing, but the super chats, really, really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. And like I said, we'll always try to incorporate Y Scout in all of these episodes. If you're not following us on Twitter, make sure you are. You see all the ats there. That's my at. That's Johnny's. That's Jimmy's. If anything you want to see on Y Scout for the next episode, just drop man a DM in it and make sure it's a reasonable request.
Big up, everyone, man. Thanks for tuning in.
You know what I mean?
No, big up.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, man. The usual.
Shout Team Royale. Shout Team Royale. Shout Kalen.
We'll catch you on the next one. Big up, everyone.
Now, big up.